Strikes will resume all across the country at noon today after the Senate passed legislation ordering an end to 5 weeks of rotating strikes by postal workers. Royal assent was granted late yesterday, shortly after senators approved Bill C-89 by a vote of 53 to 25. 4 senators abstained. The government had deemed passage of the bill to be urgent due to the economic impact of continued mail disruptions during the busy holiday season. It rushed the bill through the House of Commons last week, but senators, after holding a special sitting on Saturday to debate the bill, insisted on taking a little more time to reflect on the constitutionality of stripping postal workers of their right to strike. They held another special meeting yesterday and only put the bill to a vote after more than 5 hours of additional debate. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers issued a statement declaring that it is exploring all options to fight the back-to-work legislation. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told the House yesterday he spoke with GM CEO to express disappointment in the decision to close the Oshawa plant. Trudeau says he'll work with Ontario's Premier to find ways to help the workers.
I highlight that General Motors, like many auto companies and many industries across Canada and across the United States, were partners on us in negotiating the new NAFTA deal, in holding the trade between Canada and the United States as firm and as protected as we possibly could. We also recognize that there is more work to do to eliminate the steel and aluminum tariffs that are so unjustly imposed, and that's why we continue to stand with the workers in the steel and aluminum industry and indeed in other industries as we move forward to keep them safe.
Maple Leaf Foods is building a $660 million fresh poultry facility in London, Ontario that will enhance its ability to process higher margin products by closing 3 aging plants in the province. The protein company will invest an initial $605.5 million into that plant, and it will serve Eastern Canada and an additional $5 million into related projects over the next 5 years, while $34.5 million will come from the Ontario government and an additional $28 million from the Canadian government. It will lead to a net reduction of about 300 jobs, though. The new facility will span nearly 60,000 square meters and employ 1,450 full and part-time workers once operations begin, which, by the way, is expected in the second quarter of 2021. Construction will begin this spring. Maple Leaf CEO Michael McCain said the plant is the largest single-site investment ever made in the Canadian food sector. Production from 3 of Maple Leaf's other plants will eventually be consolidated into the new facility. About 100 protesters held anti-Trump signs and chanted "Say No" to Cindy Hyde-Smith near the site of a rally the president and Hyde-Smith attended in Mississippi just ahead of today's runoff election.
Place for hate in our state. That Cindy Hyde-Smith's comments on the campaign trail, her actions have not served the Gulf Coast. They have not served Mississippi well. She voted against the Katrina aid that our coast economy needed, and she has followed that with statements that are reprehensible to and should be reprehensible to all Mississippians. And to that, we really need to say, you're fired.
It's been a very different week for Team Jacobs. They've lost Ryan Fry after he declared a leave of absence from the team following his actions in Red Deer. While filling a spot on Jamie Cooey's team at a World Curling Tour event, Fry, as well as other members of Cooey's team, were found to be drunk and disruptive. Team Jacobs fully supported Ryan in his efforts to better himself. 2-time Olympian Mark Kennedy will join Jacobs at the Canada Cup from December 5th to the 9th in Estevan, Saskatchewan, while Matt Wozniak will fill Fry's spot at the National in Conception Bay, South Newfoundland from the 11th to the 16th.